It's a great day to be a Coyote. Welcome, Coyote Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow Coyotes. As a disclaimer, we have no affiliation to the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at BackToPackSD. With that being said, let's jump in. Heck yeah, boys. We won a game. We got it started.
Here we go.
Let's go. A dub is a dub. A dub is a dub is a dub.
It is.
Look at this guy. I knew that tweet was gonna get him. Make sure he showed up.
There we go. Second. Yeah. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, Yote fan beat you in here. He was in here at 2:26 p.m.
Absolutely wild. You know what? Everybody's pretty amped up. We got the first win of the season out of the way. Coach's first of his career. How you guys feeling?
I mean, feeling good. It was a stressful game. I've got my metric band that told me I spent 5 hours and 22 minutes in a high stress zone on Saturday, and that's spot on. I mean, that's exactly accurate. Nope. So, but like Mitch said, a win is a win is a win.
Yeah, I'm relieved. That's where I'm at. I'm absolutely relieved.
All right, and hold on. It's a great day to be a Coyote. Well, okay, not gonna start over this far in. You know what?
I'm just curious if you went to buzzed him, if he would have actually got here on time tonight.
We'll have to see his comment here in the future. But no, it's, you know what? I get where you guys are at. That was intense. Shout out to the Dome. I know it wasn't full, but when it was needed, they were there. It was loud.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, the even watching it back, the ESPN replay or Midco replay, I should say. Yeah, you get into the fourth quarter, even watching from the feed, it got loud, which I thought it was pretty darn loud. So kudos to Coyote Nation, as Mitch says, maybe small, but we're mighty. And I'll stand by that. The fans that show up are very active fans, and that's gotten better all the time. So big kudos to you. And hey, Mitch, we were talking about this right before the show started. Big false start caused by crowd noise primarily, right? I mean, especially Mitch down right at the goal line. Primarily Mitch getting the big false start that saved a touchdown, turned into a field goal. So we'll talk about that more, but kudos to the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take partial credit for that, but man, what a big moment that was on the goal line. And a lot of 3 goal line stands this defense had, and we'll get into that too. But yeah, shout out to the fans, especially those that wore white. One of the things we were going to talk about tonight, is what stood out. And I would just say the fans that didn't wear white stood out.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
no,
to be fair, went through the wardrobe change before a game. You had to rock the podcast shirt during tailgate.
Yeah, I went red too because I didn't trust myself at tailgates and had to change into the white before the game.
Also, yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it doesn't take much to get that Dome rocking, right? We know that it's 6,000, 6,500, whatever it is. That place gets rocking pretty good, and it does impact the game. And the more fans we have there, the more impact it is. So obviously, we want to sell out. We want that 9,100 or whatever number, but it doesn't take much to impact the game there with that many fans.
Well, okay. I was gonna save this comment for a little later but I had something prepared on this, on the Dome and whatnot. And I think it's pretty comical the amount of times we see the USD can't sell out the Dome, they don't have fans, blah, 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 crap. Personally, in my opinion, when it comes down to this, I think there are some fan bases afraid of what the Dome could be if it sold out.
Agreed.
If it sold out red. I think they know we are sitting on an absolute gold mine.
Oh, it would be it would be an absolute weapon.
Well, we had 5,000 people, I think, and I think some people left throughout the game too. But in that fourth quarter, when I got home, my ears were still ringing.
And I think a big part of that was the student section, right, Grant, over by where you sit. The student section has been, man, I tell you what, talk about fans and kind of pointing fingers as to who shows up and who doesn't. Student section, man, this last year, holy moly, they continued it for the home opener this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my seats are right by the student section. We joked about it this year. Every first game, we always have to kick some fans out of our seats because it fills up over there so much that they kind of overflow into the next section, and I think they kind of wait to see what people actually show up for their seats, right? So, but it happens year and year. But yeah, the students showed out, and Johansson talked about this. Coach Bob used to talk about this all the time, right? Like if you win the toss, you're deferring and you're sending them down to the student section first thing in the game, right? Which I, of course, love because that's right in front of us as well. So, but it's hard not to feed off of that student section,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, it's a ton of fun.
And I mean, where did the ball end up in overtime?
Exactly. Yep. Right there. And it was loud.
And that's the right call.
So,
I want to give one more shout out before we get started, guys, and that's to Midco. How about, because we've all three of us have watched the game back on Midco via ESPN Plus or whatever, on Hulu, is where I get it. But that presentation, from seeing the Lamar presentation that we had via ESPN Plus and then watching the Midco presentation is unbelievable how night and day difference those two are, and just the overall experience.
Yeah,
so, shout out Midco.
Absolutely, and Jay Ellison is as good as it gets when it comes to Coyote football knowledge, and he's been doing it a long time too. So I totally agree.
And so is Andre. I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
like
it's on Andre either. Yeah, he's been doing it a long time as well for us.
No. Yeah, both those guys are awesome.
I texted this to you guys, and I do get a little chuckle out of listening to Andre because somebody will tackle the player, and Andre will go, "If it wasn't for that player, that was a touchdown saving tackle right there." And I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure every tackle is a touchdown saving play.
In theory.
Yes.
In theory, right? So I did get a chuckle because I heard that a few extra times in this game, rewatching it back. And I do want to say, Kendall, we see your comment. Don't worry. We'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So before we do, let's talk Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation update here. It was our first kind of kickoff weekend here with the Lemon Top Challenge. We kind of posted some stuff on Twitter. I still need to do that in the Facebook group yet, but got to kick it off. Jake, how did we do the Jelly shots?
So a little public apology here. I got too excited for tailgating. I got too excited for seeing some friends, Coyote fans all together. So I did not do my typical rounds like I did. But the people that showed up to tailgate, and I know, Mitch, you contributed to this because I sent some off with you as well.
I sold them out.
You sold out. So we still ended at $110 sold on Jello shots alone. And to go with it, we had our first taker on the 4, 4, and 4 challenge. And he crushed it. Should have been 5, 5, 5, and 5, honestly. Maybe we have to check the rule books on that. But
brutal.
Shout out to Matt Kogel for crushing it out of the park, going for the 4, 4, and 4. Too bad they closed the concession stands for overtime.
I was going to say they stopped selling beer at a certain point, so he probably wouldn't have been able to anyway.
They stopped selling everything. I walked out there at overtime. The concessions were closed.
Brutal.
They had to go next door and get ready.
I'd say they were running short in the SCSC for the volleyball game on certain things because it was a tough day to be concession stands.
Feel bad for John Thayer. He's got to move through that dome quick.
Yeah, and so with that, guys, we did have some folks participate in the Lemon Top Challenge too. I just grabbed some of these from Twitter, but I haven't checked Facebook yet or Instagram or any of those. But this is just ones I quick grabbed from Twitter. So awesome to see. A couple, we know all these folks in these pictures, but how about 80 John Schemmel?
Yeah, this was great. I caught him actually as he was walking by. I was like, "Hey, want to help out Aiden real quick?" Absolutely. And he stepped up. I think the only challenging part was for him to actually get the lemon to balance on his head. I will not actually admit how long it took him, so you can ask him on your own. But talk about a picture perfect one for Mr. 80 John Schemmel here. Got the flag waving in the background, the dome, and he's got a balance. But all these folks stepped up. Kogels knocked it out of the park, showing again to help out Alex's Lemonade Stand. Oyens, tailgaters of the game.
They have a sweet setup. We've talked about them
do.
before, but they have an awesome setup.
They do.
I'm waiting. They took some stuff from the Ames game, and they're going to try to incorporate it. There's supposed to be a rooftop bar on this trailer. I'm waiting because I'm going to break that bad boy in with them. And then we also got the Abrams stopping by the tailgate as well, doing the Lemon Top Challenge. So shout out to the folks that stopped by.
Yes.
Next time, I'm going to have a whole bundle of lemons. So we're going to go crazy on this. I only had 2 this time. And if it wasn't for Mitch, I wouldn't have had any.
And the last thing I'll add on this is just obviously thank you to everybody who's participated and who will participate in the future. But we're just waiting for the website to get updated. The FCS Nation guys, Northwestern Mutual, Alex's Lemonade Stand, they're all pieces of that. And I know they were going through and liking some of these posts, but they're the score page with the competition part of it hasn't been updated yet. So as soon as we see that, we will definitely throw that in our show for us to see where we're at.
And I mean, as everybody knows from last year, I posted updates as we went every time. So once I'm able to actually donate what I raise on my end, Mitch, I know you'll get your part put in as well. But once I do, I will be sure to post that on Twitter so you guys know and get the confirmation of it.
Sweet. All right, boys, let's jump in here.
Hold on, look who popped in.
Oh, there she is, the doctor herself.
I can't wait to break in the roof of your trailer, Dr. Owen. So I'm excited.
Love it. All right. Another congratulations, Coach Johansson. First career win.
Absolutely.
Off the schneid.
You know what? The monkey's off the back is what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. I think we all have kind of come to see in these last 3 games, everybody was tight, worked up, anxious, trying as hard as they could. And to be able to get the win, get the monkey off your back, I think is only going to release the tension, the pressure, and just help move on towards the next one.
Absolutely. And many, many more to come, right, Grant? This is just one of hundreds.
That's what I was just about to say. One down, like 100 more to go, right? That's the goal here. But yeah, it was a grinder. I think, excuse me, for anybody who listened to the Coyote Report, with Coach at 6:00 this evening, right? He mentioned over and over again, like, this is a group of competitors, right? Like we saw, this was I mentioned it, but this is a game. I don't know that I've ever seen a defense be put in such tough positions and answer the bell every single time, right? Like there's a world where we could have lost this game by like 20 plus points had the defense broken at any point, right? So they showed out. I've never seen anything like it, right? Like we all know the goal line stand to send into overtime, but we had 3 goal line stands, tons of or not tons, but I believe 3 fourth down stops. Like they just always answered the bell all day long, and quite frankly, we needed them to, right? I mean, that's how the game turned out. But I was thoroughly impressed with this defense. I'm excited to see how that kind of continues to grow too.
Yeah. And the one thing I want to add to that with you, I mean, the defense was insane, but really what is the best thing about all of it is so hard to win ugly. And if you can master the ability to win ugly, the sky's the limit. It really is. And I know you guys can chuckle. Obviously, UNC is not the game we wanted to get ugly on, but we're here. We're there. We did it. It's a huge learning opportunity for everybody that's in their positions that they've never done before, for the most part. So I think it's definitely a step in the right direction.
No, and there is something to be said about being able to muck it up, regardless of who the opponent is. I agree with you, Jake. And I would just say the other thing, Grant, to your comment about the defense, since we're talking about that, is we have perfected the bend but don't break defense these last couple of years, guys. We've seen it. We give up a ton of yards, and then as soon as that team gets to the red zone, it is just we just lock down, and they're lucky to get a field goal.
Yeah, and it's almost I thought about that as well, Mitch, too. It's almost starts to feel like that may be a little bit of like the Johansson defense DNA, right? Because now
it sure seems like it.
We're talking about year 3 of that we've seen, right? Like we've talked about like bend don't break, but not to the point where you're giving up 30 points and you're you know, our offense is scoring 40, but it's like bend don't break, and you look up and they only scored 17, or last week they only scored 20, right? So
Right.
If that formula continues, like I said, this defense is going to get better every week, especially with as young as a defense as we all know that we have. I think there's some good potential coming, but yeah, I was super proud of the defense. I would say the only thing that was a little concerning, we haven't talked about this yet, but we probably had 2 or 3 opportunities, both defensively and offensively, to end the game from about the 6-minute mark to the 1-minute mark ish. So again, for more of a growth perspective for both sides of the ball, like the ability to put your foot on their throat a little bit and end the game, I think we had at least 3 or 4 opportunities to do that, and we just unfortunately did it. We had to wait all the way till overtime to get it done. But interesting game, and kudos to Mitch here on the exacto score prediction. Not the way he drew it up.
How we want to get there.
Not how I drew it up. I did not have overtime in the plan there, but we did get to 24-17. And funny enough, guys, we all went 17 for them.
And I think there was a lot of folks in the chat too, even that threw up 17, 14, you know, in that ballpark. So I think we all have a key in on where the defense should be. And real quick, I want to point out F and Hawk Talk in the comments here. You're just a few days early for that one, buddy. I promise you, we'll be bringing that one up because I am overly frustrated.
Yeah, that's Thursday night's show when we do the preview episode. So this is post game.
Well, we're not ignoring it. We see it.
No, we see it. So real quick, guys, too. I'm not going to read through the scoring summary, but I want to make a comment about these refs. Just real quick, we don't have to dwell on it, but
it wasn't just against about the refs, Mitch.
I'm not saying it from the Yote perspective. This is just in general. They refuse to throw the flag.
Hey,
what was there? 3 or 4 penalties called in this entire game. I mean, there was a handful of obvious things that were not called, and so I thought that was really interesting that it was equal on both sides. I'm not saying that from a Coyote perspective. It's where both sides they refuse to throw the flag. So I just thought that was interesting. I made the comment to you guys. It was like they knew we had volleyball at 5 and needed the game to get over so we could all get over to the SCSC.
Now, I'm just curious. Do refs not know what a pick play is? Or kick catch interference? And there's F and Hawk's comment because they lost on interference call that one.
They got hosed too.
I mean, at least we won ours on that, so we don't have as much to complain about. But the kick catch interference is actually the first time I ever swore in front of my children.
That was bad. That was bad.
Horrible.
That was a strange one. It seemed that about 6,500 people saw it, but the one person next to the plate didn't. It was very strange, like to the point where I thought, well, he must have seen something different, like a head fake of some sort. But
just remember that was on my sideline too, or right down in front of me. So very easy to see.
Yeah. The other part that was strange too, and then I don't want to dwell on the referees, of course, but the one thing that was weird too is that there's a lot of chippiness going on, and typically refs are pretty quick to shut that down because they don't want it to get out of hand.
Yeah, exactly.
For whatever reason, they were like just letting it fly. Like for example, there was one that happened right in front of us where the UNC player literally close fist punched our guy in the head in front of the ref. Like the ref was literally in between them, and rather than throwing a flag, he just kind of pushed them aside. And I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Usually they're very quick to throw that because they don't want it to get chippy or out of hand. So it never did. Right? It never, at least not that I saw. Like
no, it actually didn't. I'm surprised it didn't escalate, Grant, because there was a couple that kind of led up to that one, and then it kind of died down. So interesting.
So that surprised me a little bit, but
But shout out to Yotes. I mean, for the most part, it seemed like it was kind of one-sided, except for Fenner. I did see him slam a guy into the ground, but we'll look past that one.
All right. What stood out? We've been talking about it already, but anything else to add, guys? I don't know if you want to just go offense first, then defense, or what. But I kind of want to start with special teams, just real quick.
Sure.
Will, 2 missed field goals. Grant, I know you being a former center. in football. You mentioned that one was a high snap.
Yes, very high.
And so, that there's three pieces to, it's not always the kicker's fault, right? There's three pieces to that. You've got the long snapper, the holder, and the kicker. So we did struggle there a little bit. So I just want to make mention of that, something to note as we go down the road. But yeah, what else stood out to you guys?
I mean, we'll save the one that truly stood out.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got we're gonna hit on LJ, of course, and we're not gonna let's not pretend like we're not gonna spend a lot of time there, because that was a performance of a lifetime that we saw on Saturday by him. But I think the one thing that stood out, I already talked about the defense and how I was impressed with them, but offensively, LJ, obviously we know what he did, but the offensive line, going back and watching it, they did an outstanding job on the run game. And as little as we passed it, I thought they did a pretty good job in pass protection also, for the most part. Not as dominant as they were in the run game. The run game part is more impressive because everyone in the building after a while knew that we were just going to run it. And they still just impose their will on them. But the one thing I mentioned to a few folks is we got to get this pass game right.
Yep.
We're 3 games in. We've got to figure it out. Right. We had some, the one thing, or the story I'll tell here quickly, but we were watching a drive, and I was watching Dallas Holmes on this particular play, and I literally lean over to my dad and I say, Dallas is blocking his A off right now. We got to reward that guy and get him the ball. And right on time, we drop a beautiful play to him. I believe it was an out route, green grass in front, drop the ball, right? Like it was, pass could have been a little bit better, but I know he would say, like, I should have caught that ball. But to that point, like, it's there. The pass game is there. We just got to execute, it seems like, at times. But it's something that once that starts to click, I think the more the run game comes together, the play action is what Aiden has thrived off of. Like, it feels like it's so close, but yet we're so far away.
It's very close. And I'll get to Adventures for Good comment there. But I want to bring up Dustin's comment here about the O-line was killing it all night.
Future Yote right here.
Absolutely. So with it too, I think the O-line, one stat that nobody's talking about, we have given up 1 sack through 3 games. And it's definitely going to the wayside because there is been some pressure in Aiden's face, which has caused him to throw off his back foot. Somehow leads to him throwing in the dirt compared to sailing it. But it has been a big factor on the pass rush. But the O-line as a whole, I mean, there were some spots where I watched LJ where he didn't get touched until he was 40 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Like, usually people celebrate when a running back isn't touched until 4 yards. But there was a 0 behind that. So it was unbelievable, and I was just blown away. And I watched it, and I stop plays when I'm rewatching it just because I need to slow it down a little bit for myself. But I'm like, holy crap, there's 9 guys in the box, and LJ just gained 9 yards. That's not right. That is not supposed to happen.
This game was the first game where our running game looked like last year's running game.
Yep.
You mentioned the pass game, and there's work to do there, but offensively, we're a run first team. So I know, Jake, kind of in our group text as we go back and forth during the week and have our comments, you mentioned it, that this is, if we get the running game going and get that right, the passing game will feed off of that, because we know we're a run first team. That sets up the play action and the deep shots and the out routes and all that stuff. So that is a great sign. It's a sign of progress, and so something to build on. And I think that I think we will. And I think with Drake coming to town, you've got another chance to do that. So, And then as far as, I guess, let's talk this comment, Jake. I do want to answer this because I think it's multifaceted, right? I think there's a lot of pieces here. It's not just one thing. So let's go ahead and answer this one. Any ideas on why our QB struggled so much?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll start just kind of with a metaphor on this one. We went into the season, somebody dumped out the entire puzzle right in front of us. We all thought this puzzle was going to be, just a 20-piece puzzle that you'd crush out in a game or two and you get things sorted out. But apparently, it was a 100-piece puzzle. We're slowly putting it together. We're starting to see that picture come into focus of what is really there. I think we're right there. You could go a few places. I mean, yeah, you mentioned Dallas Holmes. It was on his back shoulder, low, but he should have caught it. It was 3 yards downfield. Every quarterback, every tight end, every receiver, heck, every running back catches that. It bounced off his pads because he thought about running. He had another one that was a little farther downfield. Heck, Jack Martin's had a beautiful post route to the end zone.
That one was painful.
He doesn't drop passes.
I know. He had a good game otherwise besides that one.
Yes, absolutely. He doesn't drop passes though. Even if he sprawls out like that, doesn't happen. I will say there's some juju, not entirely good, mostly bad on the passing game as a whole. But what we really need to figure out is how to get Aiden in a spot where he can definitely set his feet and deliver. But I think you're
being able to step up in the pocket, right? I think that's what you see is he's got a guy coming at him, whether it's left, right, or middle, and he's just not able to confidently step up into those throws.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he went through a major body change too, losing 20, 25 pounds in the offseason. Can definitely lead to a different feel in what you're used to. And then the game mode can definitely change the way it goes. I think it's multifaceted, like Mitch said. I think against Drake, you're going to see a lot more comfortability in the passing game. You're going to see Jack Martins, Lorenzo Fenner, Tyson Bowes. Hopefully we can get some Phelps going. But then the tight ends are right there. Everything's so close.
There seems, absolutely. And there seems to be a lack of separation at times with the receivers and tight ends. The one that I'm thinking of is where Aiden threw into double coverage to, I think it was Jesse Miller at tight end, and that one got tip drilled. The third defender comes in and grabs it on the tip drill. So, there's times like that too, where it's just there's really nobody open. So I think that's definitely part of it. And the other thing, guys, is we're not seeing a lot of go routes, nothing deep. I think we had one to Fenner, and connected on it. But we're not seeing a lot of that play action and guys running deep, whether it's a go route or whatever, but just nothing real deep. It seems like they're all 10, 15-yard shots instead of the go routes that are 40-yard bombs.
And I'll let Grant say his because I know he has got something, but I just want to say this is the first game where we truly had hardcore press coverage. If you go back and watch it again, they are on the line and they jammed. And I was very impressed with the way UNC was able to jam our receivers at the line. That definitely throws off your timing. And when it comes to passing game, timing is everything. And so when you have to wait a half second longer, that gives the defenders on the D-line an opportunity, a half second more to rush, and it just throws everything off a little bit more. I think they're going to, like I said, settle in. We got an opportunity to really find our footing, and then obviously a huge test coming afterwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last thing I'll say too. You've already mentioned it, Jake, but like I think UNC is a much improved team from the last couple of years, right? Like we talked about them being one of the worst teams in the country. That's just not the case, right? They showed it at the Dome. They showed it the week before against Colorado State. So I will be stunned if they're a bottom feeder of the Big Sky this year. I don't think they're going to be in contention to win it by any means, but I don't think they're going to be a bottom feeder like they have been in years past.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they've won one game in 2 years, right? And a bit prior to this year, and so, but they're definitely improving. I mean, you can see that. Yeah. But I don't know. Does anything else? Oh, go ahead. Greg.
Yeah, no, I just had one last comment too about the offense, and then we can move on, of course. But finally got to see Cremasoli for the first time this year in the kind of a goal line or goal to goal type situation. Yep. We talked about it a little bit. I don't love it that close to the goal line. I get the idea. I think it was there. It actually looked like a lineman kind of fell over at the start of the play, which disrupted it. But other than that, I think the play was probably going to go. But as successful as we've run block, I would really like to see Cremasoli get in there more and kind of do that RPO action.
Especially with Fletcher leading him.
Yep, 100%. With Fletcher leading,
let's do that from like the 30 or 40 yard line because we had success doing that last year. I really like that look.
correct.
I don't like it on the goal line. To your point, I don't like it on the goal line.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that 4 to 6 times a game, right? To just get that package out there in certain situations. So more to come on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, Jake, before we move on from this, I want to say, Coach Morrison, and this is Josh Davis last year. I harped on this. Stop calling the toss sweep on the goal line. For the love of all that is holy and mighty, good Lord, just stop. I hate that play on the goal line, especially like the 5-yard line. Just quit. It's horrible.
Oh yeah, no,
things are too compacted to get to the sideline. Everything's just tighter, and it's tough. It's a tough play call. Let's go north south. Stop going east west.
Yeah, no, I'm not exactly opposed to it on that one. But I can tell you, at least they went to the wide side of the field this time.
Instead of the short side, yeah.
Yeah, that is an improvement.
Okay.
So now that Mitch said that, we're going to run it 3 times on Saturday, and we're going to score a touchdown on every single one of them. Just
you want to prove me wrong against Drake? That's fine.
Yeah.
I digress. All right.
So
defense?
Go ahead. Oh yeah. I mean, so actually, Hardman quietly had probably the best Coyote game there was on the defensive side. That dude was all over the place. Tillman definitely stood out because he knocked the crap out of some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just unbelievable. So
a couple of big hits.
Huge hits.
And the forced fumble. We didn't end up getting it, but helmet right on, or hat right on
textbook,
the ball.
helmet right on the ball. Yep.
And thanks for bringing that up. I just remembered. That's the other bad juju. We don't have the bounce right now. The ball is not bouncing USC's way.
Right.
Let's talk about it. So
that was the same thing against Lamar. I think they had 2 fumbles and neither we recovered.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you had RJ Stewart should have had his first career pick, and it just popped right out on the goal line. And there goes the field goal. And now all of a sudden we don't have to worry about overtime. Then you have Caden Crawford tip the ball again at the goal line and just right down his chest, looked like Wolf hunched over on the goal line.
Both of those happened right in front of me in that corner of the end zone. There,
exactly.
Guys,
that was your edge.
I was dying.
But then you had Tillman.
Caden had the convoy too. There, I know he's a big guy, but he had the convoy. I think there was a chance that could have gone the distance.
Oh, I'm not done though. And then you got Tillman, who absolutely lit up. The fact that he didn't knock the ball loose on one was shocking, but he lit up a dude, caused a fumble, had on ball, perfect, and it rolls downfield. And they scoop it up, and they gain 3 yards because of it. But then the last one on a kick return, DJ Kennard comes in from the side, gets a perfect hit. At the end of the day, they ruled it down, but that ball still rolled 10 yards downfield, and UNC still recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was such crap luck on that. And that game looks way different if 2 of those hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll get to Dustin's comment. I got some things to say about that, but yeah,
let's just
roll into it.
Yeah, let's go. This was Grant. Okay, so for those that are watching, you're seeing a screenshot of our group text during the game, and this was about 2:00, so about an hour into the game, Grant. And I don't know, this was sometime in the second quarter probably. And you were just it was at that point. I mean, he had over 100 yards in the first quarter or something like that.
Yeah, he had 106 in the first quarter. 197.
Yeah, so Grant's strategy was this in the second quarter. This was the strategy: give the ball to 24.
It wasn't far off.
Yeah, and apparently Coach was on the same page with me because that's exactly what we continue to do. Worked out pretty well for us. But I could tell things were cooking for 24 on Saturday, and we know how that momentum can go.
So a total of 66 plays were ran yesterday. Or Saturday, 35 of them. Well, actually, hold on. I know he had a catch too.
He had a couple catches, I think. 2 or 3 catches. Maybe. Yeah.
So he had 37 of the plays ran through LJ.
Dog, whatever you want to say.
Absolutely. Yeah, just dog. That's it. End of sentence. But here's, Dustin's comment here.
How great is this having Dustin in here tonight with us?
Oh,
after his boy shows out from his high school, his hometown.
There's something different down in the Northwest. Those Northwest boys, they're raising them right. So, yes, obviously everybody knows I'm a big Iowa State fan as well. And he touches on it. LJ went to the same high school as Breece Hall. And
Yep.
we all know what Breece Hall did at Iowa State and is doing in the NFL as well. And yet, LJ has the Northwest record for yards per carry over Breece
That's
Hall.
wild.
Absolutely insane. Now, Dustin, we didn't really get a chance to see his great vision because the holes were a mile wide.
Right.
So we're jury's still out on that one. But no, I mean, this guy.
We did get to see a stiff arm and him lowering the shoulder and dropping the boom
Yes.
on some guys. Holy
that
smokes!
poor safety.
3-4 guys that he just stiff armed into the turf.
Yes, no, it was a fantastic game, and you know, I told you guys this before we went into it. You know, John Thayer said it's a perfect game for USC to go out there and get 400 yards of offense. I don't know if John anticipated one person having 75% of those yards and it not being Aiden.
Right.
Yeah, you're thinking Aiden throws for 300, not LJ running for 300.
Yes.
Good Lord.
I'm
just going to keep going. You guys keep talking. I'm just going to keep putting LJ up on the screen. It's his weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing you guys know, I've said this over the past years, I've always loved LJ's game, right?
Yes.
Like I've been preaching about this for the last couple of years, and just he's always been in a situation where he's never been the feature back. So to see him get that opportunity and then take the full advantage of it, right? I mean, he was 5 yards short of a USD all-time record behind famous Amos, right? Amos Allen.
Famous
that was
Amos.
back in the D2 days, right? So he shattered our D1 record. Actually, Charles Pierre, I believe, had the D1 record from UND performance last year. So to see him get the ability to showcase that, super excited for him. And, you know, now in a season where he can be the feature back, right? I'm so excited to see what the season has for him, but he's already done enough to show everybody in the country that he can be the guy.
And truly, Jake, epitomizing the next man up mentality, right?
Yes. I mean, coming into the season, I was not afraid to preach that USC had the best running back room in the nation. Obviously, we all knew what Charles was bringing to the table. LJ hasn't really had an opportunity to show off everything he can do until now. And I mean, one of my comments I said last week going into this game was, I can't wait to see what LJ can do with 20 carries. You got 15 more. But when he's hot, you just keep going.
Yeah, and Coach mentioned that on the show tonight as well when he was, or the OLC show, right? He said, he goes, we just got to the point where he said, hey, these guys can't stop LJ. We have to keep feeding him. And so he said, that's what we did. We just kept feeding him and kept running the ball, and we didn't care if they put 9 guys in the box or whatever it looked like at times, right? Like we're not going to stop until they stop us, and they honestly really didn't. No,
they didn't. My only complaint, LJ had a drive where he gained all 80 yards for a touchdown.
Yes.
On his own. No one had any more yards. But they ran the toss play that Mitch was already complaining about, and they ran Nevins for net 0 yards. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, just give it to LJ and let him cap off his drive. He deserves that. He deserves that.
Yes.
But no, it was, I mean, unbelievably historic game. And the wildest part is I did not realize he had 197 yards going into halftime. It didn't. I mean, he was just going to work. I was like, okay, yeah, he should be right around 100 or so.
It didn't. It really didn't feel like it, did it? I mean, it's just the way the game flow was going. I mean, I know he ripped a couple big ones, but it didn't feel like that at halftime.
I agree. It wasn't until, I don't know, must have been end of the first quarter. I think he's already at like 160. But to your point, typically when you see a guy have a performance like that, it usually involves like a 80+ yard touchdown run that kind of like really caps it off. And obviously he had 2 40+ yard rushes.
You want to do some math?
So just you can run the numbers there, right? Like potato. But to your point, it wasn't like he broke one for 90-yard touchdown and that's why he had 300 of it, right? But it's super, super excited for him.
Other shout out too, guys, is the offensive line and tight ends, right? And I know we've mentioned this already, but just real quick, I mean, just the amount of successful blocks and just grinding it out and just moving people off the ball can't be understated. And I think the offense too. Talking about the offense, I think we had a drive that went 99 yards, didn't we? We had one that started on the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive stands that we did.
Yeah, and so I mean, a ton of progress there. Now we really just need the last missing piece is the passing game. If we get that going and we can be more balanced, and we become truly dual threat on offense, that's when you're going to start seeing the points drastically increase to the 30s and 40 numbers that we're used to seeing the last 2 years. That's what we're missing.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, it's funny. I'm actually scrolling through that right now on ESPN. It was a 14-play, 99-yard drive, which I guess I didn't even realize it was 99 yards. That's
a heck of a drive to sustain that, right?
And that was
an offense
in the fourth
that
quarter.
has been struggling. Oh, it was in the fourth quarter? Okay, that's even more impressive.
Exactly.
And more important.
And, of course, it first starts off with LJ run, LJ run, LJ run, LJ run. Oh, got to give him a breather. So we got Reed going here a little bit. But then actually this drive is the touchdown to Zach Whitty. And time to give him a huge shout out because he is a guy that emulates the program. He is actually a 6-year senior, just like Aiden. Same recruiting class, obviously different schools to start. That was his first career touchdown. And he's just a guy that stuck with it, kept driving, kept going. And look at it. I mean, it's definitely paying off. He's showing out this season. He's done a fantastic job. I do want to say, though, I think that play was at first meant for Dallas Holmes, but he was being held.
Go figure.
And also Whitty was wide open in the corner.
Absolutely wide open.
Beautiful play call. Beautiful design.
And that was play action, if I remember right. Kind of a play action boot.
Play action, clean pocket.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's what I was just about to say. If we continue to run the ball successfully like we did on Saturday, and again, clean pocket for Aiden, that's where he thrived all year last year, right? Was off that play action. We're going to see that get more successful as time goes on.
Absolutely. And you bring him up here. We started talking about the O-line, but talk about Brock Wolf. Just laying it all out on the field.
His performance was so good, it made me sick. I mean, it was
made himself sick.
That's right.
So highest graded coyote lineman per PFF, 93 grade, which is absolutely fantastic. And then he also had the 3 vomits on the one play near the goal line, right in front of me, by the way. I was wondering how long it was going to take him to clean that up. It was quite a long time. I thought maybe they'd run right out there, but no.
And the fact that they used a broom and dustpan to clean
what are we doing?
Yeah. And then, for Adventures for Good comment here being ranked too low on this. I don't hate our ranking entirely just because we haven't shown it to the national media. Us as fan base, everybody that's sitting here watching the show, I think everybody's kind of come to the realization that those pieces are being laid. The groundwork's being built up. Things are starting to work. We're figuring it out. Once, we show up, destroy Drake, move on to NDSU, show out there, I think they'll throw us way up in the rankings real quick again.
Yeah, we just have to go do it. We have to go prove it.
Exactly.
Yeah, to this point, we haven't proven anything, right? But to your point, too, I think a lot of media members are going to hold out until they see how we perform against NDSU, not to get too far down the road, right? But that's kind of the reality of just the Missouri Valley Football Conference, right? If that's the standard, they want to see how you perform against the standard. So we'll see. We'll go out and earn it every week, week by week.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. We'll figure it out. We're putting our pieces together. I mean, I've seen a lot of tinkering by the coaching staff, a lot of pieces being placed. It's coming along. The O-line, I will say, for the most part, is looking fantastic. I would like it if we could trim it down from 2 tight ends to 1 on the help blocking, but it's coming. And yeah, I mean, here you go.
We did, guys, one last thing on the O-line. We did say this all off season. It was going to take a couple games for them to gel together with 4 new guys coming in with Hawkins being the only returner, right, for starting O-line. And so I think we're starting to see flashes, and if we can get that run game going, like we said, it's going to build off of that, and you're going to see a trickle down effect, especially into the passing game. So I think we're heading in the right direction. We just need to see more of it.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. But do you guys got anything else you want to hit on?
I don't know. Just shout out to the defense, right? I mean, those goal line stands. We can't say enough about that, because if they don't make that stand 3 different times in this game, where it's a whole different story tonight on this show.
I mean, those 3 stands looked very familiar, eerily familiar to previous seasons.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that would be my last comment, right? Defense showed out, but also too, we talked about it early in the show, but crowd showed out, but we need the crowd there again to be impactful Saturday again.
Exactly.
Blackout. Grant, Jake, don't black out before the game.
It depends on how it goes. But no, I'm excited. Real quick before everybody leaves, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you can get those notifications and be alerted when we do go live. Yep. Matt,
just win, baby.
Perfect. Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Thanks, everybody. Go Yotes.